Good morning, everyone. Today, I am honored to take you on a journey to the land of the people of the lake. We are talking about the Maranao, a group known not only for their deep devotion to Islam, but also to their world-class craftsmanship, legendary epics, and royalty. From the intricate carvings of the turugan to the rhythmic licking to the singkil dance, the Maranao culture is a vibrant thread in the fabric of Filipino identity. And now, let's explore what makes them unique. I am Frannchelle Abubacar from Mindanao State University, Zamboanga, Sibugay, taking the Bachelor of Science in Environmental Studies. And this video is for educational purposes only. And this video serves as our final requirement in HIS 003, or also known as the Filipino Muslim or the history of Filipino Muslims and Lumads in Minsupala or Mindanao, Sulu, and Palawan. And now, let's proceed to our discussion. And now, our prior objectives or discussion in this video or this discussion is all about the beauty of Maranao tribe. So, if we talk about the beauty of Maranao tribe, so it involves about the history, culture, and traditions of the Maranao tribe. So everyone, I want you to take a look at this picture po, which is presented in my video. So I know some of you guys are already know this place because this place is very famous in Mindanao. So ito po ay a view of the Lake Lanao na makikita po natin doon sa Lanao del Sur. So ano nga ba ang nandito sa Lake Lanao? So ngayon po is ating aalamin kung ano nga ba ang ugat nitong lake na to. So let's go to the introduction. Maranao means people of the lake. After traditional territory in the area surrounding Lake Lanao is the Bukidnon Lanao Plateau, which is some 2,200 feet above sea level. They are one of the largest Islamic groups in the Philippines. One areas as Marawi City or the Lumba, Abayao, and Bayang. So the Maranao people or Maranao are also spelled as Maranao in Filipino. It was a term used by the Philippine government to refer to the southern indigenous people who are the people of the lake. So take note that the Maranao are the so-called people of the lake. A predominantly Muslim Lanao province region of the Philippine islands of Mindanao. To make it easy for you to understand, guys, Maranao people are the people of the lake. So please take note of this word po na ang Maranao is also known or literally means people of the lake. So they get this name because their ancestral home is around Lake Lanao in Mindanao. So yun na nga po yung sinabi ko kanina kung bakit involved po ang Lanao or the Lake Lanao sa Maranao people. Because they're the so-called people of the lake. So again, they get this name because their ancestral home is around the Lake Lanao in Mindanao. So the language they speak, the Danao language, which is very similar to the languages of the Iranon and Maguindanao people. So together, these groups gave the islands of Mindanao its name. Otherwise, Maranao are also known for their artwork, weaving, wood, plastic, and metal crafts and epic literature, diderangin. They were also ethnically and culturally closely related to the Iranon in Maguindanao. So yun nga po yung sinabi ko kanina, no, na the Maranao, the Iranon, and the Maguindanao is very closely or related to each other because they speak the same language, which is the Danao languages, and giving name to the island of Mindanao. So, take note po yung mga sinabi ko kanina, especially po sa mga highlighted word dito po na sinabi ko sa aking discussion. Now, let's proceed to the Turugan. So, ano nga ba po yung Turugan? So, Turugan is the traditional residence of the reigning Sultan of the Maranao people and his family. It is where the community traditionally gathers for wedding, Thanksgiving rites, and enthronements and vigils for the dead. So, it is a masterpiece of Filipino craftsmanship. Carved on the Turugan wooden posts in the Niyaga, stylized mythical snake design that can be found in many Muslims' artworks. So basically, the Turugan house is not just a house. So take note of that. It is a royal house. It is where the sultan or the leader lives. So yung sultan po ay kasama niya po yung family niya dito na tumira because this is what they call the royal house. So this one serves as a town hall of weddings, meetings, and community gatherings. So yun po yung turugan. Okay class, next to that is the ukir. So ano nga ba yung ukir? Ukir and all these forms from the Maranao are consistent on their motif, which is the ukir design. It refers to the whole repertoire of folk motifs, which consisting of plant forms that figure prominently in their artwork from waving to carving to brass cast pieces. So its design serve a significant cultural symbol. So in other words, ang ukir po ay a signature or it is a signature art style of the Maranao. So it uses flowing, vine-like designs based on plants and flowers. So take note na yung ukir po ay meron po silang pina-follow na mga art style or yung style sa paggawa nitong art na to. So they follow the flowing like a vine, yung mga vines po sa flowers and other designs po that represents the plants and the flowers itself. So yun po yung ukir. So ito po yung ukir, i-present ko po sa inyo. And now to the next presentation. I know mostly of you very familiar onto this picture or onto this thing, no? Or itong i-present ko po ngayon, which is ang sarimanok. So ano nga ba ang sarimanok sa mga Maranao people? So we have several stylized decorative motifs in Muslim art. The sarimanok is one of this. So sarimanok is stylized representation of an open-winged legendary bird whose claws clutch a fish. It is a bird from symbol of the Maranao. So in other words, ang sarimanok po is a legendary bird holding a fish. So in Maranao culture, it represents good fortune, royalty, and prestige. So you will see this symbol elsewhere or everywhere, from headdresses to rooftops. Not even po na present sila sa headdresses or other things na makikita natin surround our area or the area of Maranao, but you will see them everywhere po. So for example, we also have the rooftops. So yung sa turugan, present din po doon ang sarimanok because Maranao people believe about this legendary bird. Because this legendary bird, again, it represents a good fortune, royalty, and prestige. So kung may sarimanok, meron ding sarimanok headdress. So now, let's talk about the sarimanok headdress in Maranao tribe. So again, the sarimanok is a mythical or legendary bird that symbolizes the Maranao's royalty, wisdom, and power. So the sarimanok headdress is headdress worn by Maranao men during special occasions. So it is made of a color feathers, beads, and other decorative materials that represents the bird's vibrant color. So let's take a look on this picture po. Ito po yung sarimanok headdress. And now, let's proceed to the traditional clothing of the Maranao people. So, as we all know, very well known po talaga yung malong, no? So, ano nga ba yung malong? So, malong is the Maranaos are known for their gold and purple malong. So, yun na nga po yung signature ng mga Maranao people, which is the gold and the purple malong. So, malong is the traditional tube garment of the Maranaos. So, you will notice the color green, yellow and red, violet and blue dominated the Muslims. So the malong, this is most famous Maranao garment. So it is a tube skirt. So a large circle of cloth that can be worn in many ways. So it could be a skirt, a dress, a blanket, or even a baby carrier. So Maranao are famous for their gold and purple malongs. So take note that the Maranaos are known for their gold and purple malong. So again, the malong could be in a colors of green, yellow, red, violet, and blue that dominated the Muslim. Next to that is the pangol or the crown. So the pangol or the crown is a traditional headpiece worn by Maranao women during special occasion. So kanina, meron din tayong specialized only for men, no, yung Sarimandok headdress. And now, meron ding specialized, no, na ginagamit sa mga babae during special occasion, which is the pangol or the crown. So again, it is made of gold, silver, or brass and adorned with precious stones, beads, and other decorative elements. So the pangol represents the Maranao women's royalty and wealth. So a pangol, in short, it is a crown or headpiece worn by women to show off their wealth and status. So ito po yung picture ng pangol crown, ng pangol or crown. And now let's proceed to the Maranao blaan. So the Maranao blaan is a traditional Maranao dress worn by women during special occasions. So it is a long sleeve blouse paired with a flowing skirt made of colorful fabric. So the blouse is adorned with intricate embroidery and beading. So while the skirt is adorned with a colorful band of embroidery and beads, so this represents the Maranao blaan or their traditional clothing. So it is a specific style of dress for women featuring a long sleeve blouse and intricate beadwork. So ito po yung example or picture ng Maranao blaan. And now let's proceed to the way of living of Maranao people. So the Maranao are the largest Muslim cultural linguistic groups in the Philippines with over 840,000 people in the late 20th century. So they live around the Lake Lanao in Mindanao. So their main livelihood includes rice farming, metalworking, woodworking, and fishing in Lake Lanao, which is crucial for their food, water, and energy needs. So again, this is the livelihood of the Maranao people. So Maranao people, they are master farmers of rice and expert craftsmen in metal and wood. So Lake Lanao is their lifeblood. So nga nung gitawag mo siyang lifeblood because it provides fish, water, and even electricity for the regions. And now let's proceed to the clothing of Maranao. So the Barong Tagalog of Maranao men and women. So the Barong Tagalog is a formal shirt worn by Filipino men and women during special occasions. So the Maranao version is the Barong Tagalog is called the Barong Tagalog. It is a loose-fitting long-sleeve shirt made of sheer fabric and adorned with intricate embroidery and beading. Ito po, yung nasa picture is, nag-represent po siya ng mga vibrant colors po. So, that is the pictures of the so-called Barong Tagalog of Maranao, men and women. And now, let's proceed to the beliefs and practices of the Maranao. So, in contrast to the majority of Filipinos, are a conservative Muslim groups who preserve the beliefs and practices of Islam that were introduced by Muslim missionaries in the 14th and 15th centuries. So, one of their beliefs and practices is the polygamy. So, this is very familiar to you guys because most of the Moro people are actually applying this or practice this traditional or beliefs, no, na pwede silang mag-asawa ng dalawa or higit pa sa dalawa or higit pa sa isa. So, polygamy is one of the traditions of Maranaos that still practice upon to this day, especially for the Maranao male. So, the polygamy in Maranao culture, it is particularly for those of royal or wealthy status. So, men are allowed to have more than one wife following Islamic tradition and local custom. So, pwede ra jud kaayo magminyo ang isa ka Maranao nga lalaki for as long as they are wealthy, they are willing, no, mabalance niya mismo ang responsibilidad niya sa iyang wife nga isa or una wife niya nga ikaduha or ikatulo or ikalima ba na siya, pero dapat jud mabalance gid na siya og mahatag pud niya ang mga basic needs sa nagkanda iya nga mga asawa. So that is one of the beliefs and practices of the Maranao people. And now let's proceed to the Maratabat. So what is Maratabat and how does it capture the definition traditional pride, honor, and dignity. So, maratabat is a Maranao term, but it is not a monopoly of the Maranao because other ethnic groups have also their own similar concepts. So, in fact, we may equate it with yabang inhiya among the Tagalog, kaulaw o garbo among the Bisaya, and kasipog among the Tausug, and etc. So we may have different terms for it and various degree of manifestation, but essentially, they all refer to a concept of dignity. So let us discuss the maratabat as manifested among the Maranao of Lanao because it is typically representative of the natives' concept of dignity, especially among the Moros. Look on a good example about maratabat. No? So for example, ikaw ang pride sa imong family. So your family sent you to a school, for example, sa Harvard University. So therefore, ikaw mismo nga anak nila is ikaw ang ilahang kuan, pride sa inyong pamilya. So you bring your maratabat dito sa imuhang giispilahan because your parents honored you so much with full of beliefs nga kanang makaya nimo na because you have your maratabat. So take note that maratabat could either be good and bad. So mao na siya guys, no? So remember, always remember according to the definition, no? Remember your maratabat or always remember your maratabat. So a man without maratabat is nobody. Or a man who loses his maratabat becomes very, very small, and an important man is one with lots of maratabat. So that is, again, maratabat is a pride, honor, and dignity, and also a self-esteem. So this maratabat in Maranao. So mao ni siya ang beliefs and traditions, no, sa mga Maranao tribe or the Maranao people. And now let's proceed to the cuisine, traditional foods of Maranao. So Maranao cuisine features a unique blend of flavors and spices, setting it apart from other Philippine cuisines. So it traces its origin from the indigenous people inhabiting the lands around Lake Lanao in the islands of Mindanao. So let's travel the traditional foods of Maranao. First, we have dikuning, palapa. Next is udang or udang. Next, we have dirindang, is the pisasati a udang. So, next to that is the sinapalan manok. Pastil, this is very famous, no? Especially dito po sa Mindanao State University, Zamboanga, Sibugay. This is the sweet delicacies. So, ito po yon, present po ito tuwing may mga special occasions po yung Maranao, Maguindanao, and other Moro tribes po. And now, let's proceed to the traditional dance of Maranao. So, singkil is very familiar to you guys. I know po na familiar po yung singkil kasi way back when I was on my junior high school, especially when I was grade 8, so sinayaw po namin tong singkil sa aming MAPI na subject. So, otherwise, let's proceed. So, singkil is a Maranao royal dance from the Philippines, originating from the Lake Lanao region. So, it features a prince and princess weaving in and out of crisscross bamboo pools. So, accompanied by rhythmic clapping. So, traditionally, it was performed during celebrations to entertain nobility and is deeply rooted in Maranao culture. So, it is influenced also by Islamic and pre-colonial practices. So, ito po yung singkil. So, it involves a prince and princess. So, yan po yung traditional dance ng Maranao. And that includes my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. And of course, I would also like to remind you guys po na this is for educational purposes only. And this is also serve as our final requirement. And again, thank you so much for listening. And also, I would like to acknowledge our instructor, Assistant Professor Thor Domato Jr. Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity. And Happy New Year, everyone.